Seeing it's 6 p.m., I'd like to call the November 15th, 2023 regular meeting of the Kenai City Council to order, and I'd like to welcome everybody here this evening and ask that if you're able, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Here.
Councilmember Askin.
Here.
Mayor Gabriel.
Here.
Councilmember Daniel.
Here.
Councilmember Stonar.
Here.
Vice Mayor Nagstead.
Here.
Councilmember Dothett.
Here.
Student Representative Tanner. You have a quorum.
Thank you. And I'd just like to point out to you that we have Ms. Cunningham filling in for as acting city manager for this meeting for Mr. Eubank. Council, before we get to agenda approval, I'd like to call your attention to a laydown you should have in front of you with requested additions to the packet. Action, add to item H3, action approval, non-objection to the issuance of a new beverage dispensary tourism liquor license to Salamanoff Cannery Lodge, LLC. Non-objection memo requested by the city clerk. Add to item H4, action approval, special use permit to American Red Cross of Alaska Airport Commission recommendation memo requested by administration. And add to item H9, discussion scheduling joint work session with Kenai Kenichi Indian Tribe memo requested by administration. Pleasure, Council. Vice Mayor Nagstead.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. I move for approval of the agenda, consent agenda, with the inclusion of the three action items, H3, H4, and H9. Request unanimous consent.
Is there anybody from the body that would like to amend the agenda or consent agenda at this time? Seeing and hearing none, I'd ask the clerk to please read the consent agenda into the record, please.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. You have approval of minutes, regular meeting of November 1st, 2023, brought to you by the city clerk. You have new business, action approval, bills to be ratified, brought to you by the administration. You have action approval, non-objection to the renewal of a standard marijuana cultivation facility license for Shackelford Investments, LLC, doing business as Shackelford Investments, LLC, license number 31826, brought to you by the city clerk. You have action approval, non-objection to the issuance of a new beverage dispensary tourism liquor license to Salamatoff Cannery Lodge, LLC, doing business as Salamatoff Cannery Lodge, LLC, license number 6111, brought to you by the administration. You have action approval, special use permit to American Red Cross of Alaska for general office space at the Alaska Regional Fire Training Center, brought to you by the administration. You have introduction of ordinance number 3381-2023, repealing Kenai Municipal Code appendices, public record inspection regulations, repealing Kenai Municipal Code Charter, Chapter 10.40, release of public records, and reenacting Kenai Municipal Code 10.40, access to public records, brought to you by Councilmember Baisden. Public hearing December 20th, 2023. And you have introduction of ordinance number 3382-2023, amending Kenai Municipal Code Chapter 7.05, taxation of real and personal property to provide an exemption on the first $100,000 of assessed valuation other than motor vehicles and watercraft owned by each taxpayer, and making housekeeping changes. This is brought to you by Mayor Gabriel, Vice Mayor Nagstead, and council members Baisden, Daniel, Askin, Sonar, and Dothett. Public hearing December 20th, 2023, and that is your consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there anybody from the general public like to speak to any item that's on the consent agenda, which was just read into the record? Seeing and hearing none, we'll bring it back to council. I can't recall if unanimous consent was requested. Since unanimous consent was requested, is there any objection? Seeing none, the agenda and consent agenda is approved. This evening we have no scheduled administrative reports. We have no scheduled public comment. Is there anybody from the general public that would like to address the council this time on any item that is not on the agenda or consent agenda? Ms. Springer.
Hi, everybody. It's been a while, sorry. So what I did is I gave everybody our 2024 schedule. I did the complete schedule January through December so that everybody doesn't even have to wonder what we're doing next year. And that's everything from luncheons to our fundraiser to literally every event that we do. So some things that I wanted to bring to your attention that we are starting. We're going to be doing our First Friday art series every first Friday, obviously. But January through September, we already have all the local artists picked out. They applied to be in it, and they'll be showcasing their art, and then we'll have a little reception for them in combination with the Fine Arts Center as well. So we're going to try and create like a First Friday art walk, kind of like they do in other places. So hopefully some other businesses want to get involved. Another thing that we're doing is a new series. It'll be the entire year called our Community Business Lecture Series, and this is going to be specifically for members. General public will be allowed to attend, but there will be a fee. And this is for small businesses, large businesses, anyone who needs help with the subjects in hand. So like January, we're doing public speaking, and I'll be doing the lecture on that, and it'll be an hour. And so basically classes on how to do these things. You know, in February, Liam's going to do one on graphic design for beginners. So these are going to be classes that we're going to be offering, and people just need to register if they're a member. And if they're not, they can either become a member. If they want to take more than 4 classes, they should. And if they want to just attend one, then it's $50 a person. So, and then the other thing that as soon as I get the paperwork signed, we're going to be doing family movie nights once a month, January through May, for the public for free. So we are pretty excited to be offering some more things for the general public to find more things for families to do around here. Also, speaking of that, the gingerbread submissions are in, so everyone needs to come by and vote. We got 35 gingerbread houses of all ages, from 2-year-olds to adult. And so they all have different categories, and it's really fun, like the community. I mean, people were literally, I have gingerbread on me. People were dropping them off 5 minutes before 5, and I was like, ooh. But it's all good. And then Christmas Comes to Kenai, obviously, is next Friday. So, whoo, that happened fast. So we hope that everybody will show up. We're going to be doing 11 to 4 p.m. is going to be Pictures with Santa and all the fun activities inside. At 6 p.m., the parade will start, normal route, and then at 8, we'll have fireworks and the bonfire. Or no, that's not right. I think I'm off there. 11 to 4, 6, 7. 7 is the fireworks. Don't miss them. So I think that was everything.
Very good. Any questions for Councilmember Bazin?
Thank you. So are you asking us, is a gingerbread contest, is that a tasting contest?
I would not personally eat any of those houses.
But if you do, let me know. I might want to go watch.
I do have a candy dish on my desk, though. You are welcome to it.
For any further questions of Ms. Springer? Seeing none, thank you. Look forward to next Friday. Is there anybody else at this time that would like to address the council on any item that is not on the agenda or consent agenda?
And if there's any members of the public on Zoom, if you've joined through the app, please press the raise your hand button if you'd like to comment.
Seeing none, we'll go to public hearings. First up, item E1, ordinance number 3377-2023, accepting and appropriating an increase in the Title III grant from the State of Alaska Department of Health and Social Services for nutrition, transportation, and support services, and an American Rescue Plan Act grant passed through the State of Alaska Department of Health and Social Services for the Kenai Senior Center expenditures in support of its response to COVID-19 public health emergency. Pleasure, Council. Vice Mayor Naxton.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to enact ordinance 3377, 2023.
A second.
Is there anybody in the general public like to speak to ordinance number 3373-2023? Seeing and hearing none online, we'll bring it back to council. Comments from council? Discussion? Vice Mayor Naxton.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank the Director, Kathy Romaine, for getting this grant, and I'm sure you had help from Red, too, down there. Thank you.
Further questions, comments? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Askin,
Yes.
Councilmember Baisden,
Yes.
Councilmember Dothit,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nakstead,
Yes?
Councilmember Sonart,
Yes.
Councilmember Daniel,
Yes.
Mayor Gabriel,
Yes.
Student Representative Tanner, Student Representative Tanner was not able to hear you. We may have some audio issues, but you have 7 yes votes. Ordinance number 3377-2023 is enacted.
Thank you. Next up, we have ordinance number 3378-2023, accepting and appropriating a donation from Hillcorp Energy Company to assist with the annual area-wide senior Thanksgiving dinner. Pleasure, council. Councilmember Raskin.
I move we enact ordinance 3378-2023.
I'll second.
Is there anybody from the general public that would like to speak to ordinance number 3373-2023?
If there's any members of the public on Zoom that would like to comment at this time, please press the raise your hand button to be acknowledged.
Seeing none, we'll bring it back to council. Comments, deliberation from council. I guess I'd just like to say a big thank you. I think I speak for the body up here when I say thank you to Hillcorp for this generous donation. That I know this has been an ongoing program that's gone back to the 80s, I think. Started out with Unical, and it's been continuing on through different organizations and companies that have transitioned throughout the years. And I know it's a great event, and I believe it's this Saturday. Maybe I'll ask Ms. Romaine to at least, if your voice is up to it, or maybe give us a few details of when it is.
See if I can do this without coughing. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, it is a big event. It's Friday and starts at noon. We open the doors to seniors at 10:30, and the dining room will be full. We expect not only to fill the dining room, but the game room as well. So pretty much over 250 will come in for that. And we have about 18 Hillcorp volunteers who will be coming to help with that as well.
Very good. Thank you. Any other discussion from council? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Daniel,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nakstead,
Yes?
Councilmember Baisden,
Yes.
Councilmember Askin,
Yes.
Councilmember Dothit,
Yes.
Councilmember Sonart,
Yes.
Mayor Gabriel,
Yes.
Student Representative Tanner.
Yes.
You have 7 yes votes. Ordinance number 3378-2023 is enacted.
And we did hear you, Ms. Tanner, so whatever problem we had, we got it worked out. Thank you. Next up, we have ordinance number 3379-2023, accepting and appropriating a grant from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security passed through the State of Alaska Department of Military and Veterans Affairs for the purchase of trauma care supplies. Pleasure, council. Vice Mayor Nakstead.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to enact ordinance 3379-2023.
Second.
Is there anybody from the general public like to speak to ordinance number 3379-2023?
Any members of the public on Zoom that would like to participate, please press the raise your hand button to be acknowledged.
Seeing none, we'll bring it back to council. Comments, deliberation from council? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Gabriel,
Yes.
Councilmember Sonart,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nakstead,
Yes?
Councilmember Baisden,
Yes.
Councilmember Daniel,
Yes.
Councilmember Askin,
Yes.
Councilmember Dothit,
Yes.
Student Representative Tanner.
Yes.
You have 7 yes votes. Ordinance number 3379-2023 is enacted.
Thank you. That brings us to ordinance number 3380-2023, amending Kenai Municipal Code, Section 22.05.095, methods for sale or disposal to provide a veteran's land purchase price discount for certain residential land purchases. Councilmember Basin.
Yes, I move that we enact ordinance number 33802023.
I'll second.
Is there anybody from the general public who'd like to speak to ordinance number 3380-2023? Seeing nobody in chambers or online, we'll bring it back to council. We'll start out with the sponsor, Councilmember Basin.
So thank you, Mayor. So as most of you know, this weekend we celebrated Veterans Day, and I know a lot of us attended events, and I kind of timed this for that reason. This was something I've had on my mind for a few months, and I after I got some help from legal to put this together, I wanted to present it at this time. You know, the state of Alaska, we have a large number of veterans, and the Kenai Peninsula specifically, we have a lot. And what caught my eye was, I don't know if most of you are aware, the state of Alaska has a program to where if you bid on a piece of property from the state of Alaska, you get a 25% discount if you're a veteran that's been honorably discharged. And it's a way of saying thank you for your service. And it was brought to my attention, I don't know if most of you realize, there was an auction that just took place, and we had a few pieces of property here in the city that the state had available. And it just kind of brought it back to my attention that maybe this is something that we should do at this level. We don't have, I'm pretty sure we don't have any residential property available at this time, but I know with our land plan that eventually we will. And the city of Kenai we've tried to be generous to our veterans. We have some burial discounts that we have for our veterans. We do things with discounts at our rec center. And, you know, with what's going on in the world today, we know that these veterans, they give a lot of themselves throughout this country and specifically in the state. And I think it's probably the least that we can do for them to help give them a thank you. And I would love your support on this.
Councilmember Dalton.
Do we know if does the borough offer a discount at this time? No, because I know the borough has a land sale coming up, and and the actual borough has quite a few lots within the city they're going to be selling. It sounds like too. So that's why I was kind of curious about. But no, I think it's a great idea, and I think with our land, with the plan we have now in state, there's several lots that if somebody were to ask, they could move to purchase residentially right now. That we have delegated as the disposal or able to be disposed of within the city for residential. So there is possibility that somebody were to approach us with a city-owned lot. I think we could move forward with something like this. But I think it's a good idea, and I'm glad we're doing something like this. And hopefully maybe the borough will catch wind of it and continue on down the road with it.
Councilmember Raskin.
I also wholeheartedly support this program. I attended the Memorial Day services back in May, and I don't remember who it was that was speaking, but they said that the Kenai Peninsula has the highest per capita of veterans in the United States. So that speaks pretty highly for us, I think.
Further discussion, Councilmember Basin.
So I do want to disclose that I am a veteran, and I have put this forward, and I don't intend to take advantage of this if it was to pass this body. And I just want to make sure that everybody realizes that.
Thank you for that disclosure. Further discussion? Councilmember Sonard. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. I think this is a great idea. I very much support this. And I just wanted to let our clerk, Megan, know that I've tried to start my video from the very beginning of the meeting. And when I select my start video icon, the message I get is that I cannot start the video because the host has disabled it. And is that part of the normal process with our tightening restrictions on Zoom?
I guess I defer to Ms. Thibodeau.
Thank Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. Councilmember Sonart, I did not intentionally disable your video. This may be a feature of the webinars. There's still a learning process with that, but thank you for letting me know. I will look into it.
Got it, no problem. I just wanted to make sure it was an operator error.
Further discussion on ordinance number 3380-2023? I'd like to say that I do support this, and I thank Councilmember Basin for bringing this forward. Yes, there is a high percentage of veterans in our on the peninsula, and I think it's the state of Alaska for that matter. So even if it would entice a veteran from within the state of Alaska, or from outside the area to move here is a good thing, I believe. And I know we do other things for veterans. I know the state does and the borough does for taxes too, on property taxes. So certainly any way we can, honor veterans and make that, easier for them, I'm all for that. So, and with that, I'll ask for any last final comments from anybody. Councilmember Daniel.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. I just want to thank Councilmember Basin for bringing us forth and echoing all the comments said tonight. This is just a small token of appreciation, and anything the city can do that we can help, I think is a good thing here. Thank you for bringing us forth.
Seeing no other comments, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Dothit,
Yes.
Councilmember Baisden,
Yes.
Councilmember Daniel,
Yes.
Mayor Gabriel,
Yes.
Councilmember Sonart,
Yes,
Vice Mayor Nakstad,
Yes?
Councilmember Askin,
Yes.
Student Representative Tanner.
yes,
You have 7 yes votes. Ordinance number 3380-2023 is enacted.
Thank you. Next up, we have action item H7, council confirmation of mayoral nominations to the city's commissions and committees. Pleasure, council. Vice Mayor Nakstad.
Thank you, Mayor. I move the council confirm the nominations of the commissions the mayor has here. For the Airport Commission, Jacob Caldwell, Glenda Feakin, and Paul Manilga. Beautification Committee, Terry Wilson and Sonia Barbaza. And Council on Aging, Rachel Craig, Francis Kilfoyle, Roy Williams, and Jim Glendenning. For the Harbor Commission, Bob Peters, Jeannie Reveal, and Dave Peck. And for Parks and Recreation Commission, Michael Bernard, Grant Wisniewski, and Nigel LaRicca. Yeah.
I would second and ask for unanimous.
Discussion on the motion. Councilmember Dothit.
Just curious, kind of goes with this motion. Are there any current openings, or are we fully staffed now in all of them?
We do have on beautification, two on beautification, correct? And Council on Aging, yes. But I'm happy to report, as part of my comment, I was just going to say that we had, I think, almost 100% re-up or for reapply, I believe, wasn't it, Megan?
Thank you, Councilman, Mayor Gabriel. Not 100%, but very close. I think there was only a couple people that chose not to reapply.
I'm glad to see we're as fully staffed in those positions as we can be right now. That's great. I hear other cities are having a hard time filling them, so it's awesome to see that we've got them full. Thank you.
And retaining, yes. So, any further discussion? Unanimous consent was requested. Is there any objection? Seeing none, the City Commission and Committee nominations are confirmed. Thank you, Council. Next up, we have action approval, council confirmation of mayoral nominations to the Planning and Zoning Commissioner. Pleasure, Council. Vice Mayor Nakstad.
Thank you, Mayor. I move the council confirm the nominations for the mayor for Planning and Zoning Commission, those individuals being Joe Halstead, Glenise Petty, and Sonia Barbaza. Request unanimous consent.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, unanimous consent was requested. Is there any objection? Seeing none, those nominees for the nominees for the Planning and Zoning Commission are confirmed. Thank you again, Council. And next up, we have on item H9, discussion, scheduling a work session with Kenaitze Indian Tribe. And I will note that there was a laydown. In the laydown, there was a request to postpone this to our December 20th, 2023 meeting. Pleasure, Council. Vice Mayor Nexon.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that we postpone this discussion item until the 20th of December 2023, our next meeting.
Second, ask for unanimous.
Thank you. Discussion on the motion? Councilmember Dothan.
I won't be here on the 20th, but if we can try to do it at 5 o'clock or later, that would be best for me to be able to attend.
To actually schedule the work session at 5 o'clock or later? Okay.
That would be best for me, if possible.
Okay.
I just won't be here on the 20th. I'll be out.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Unanimous consent was, can you make a note of that, Megan? So, thank you. Any other discussion? Comments? Unanimous consent was requested. Is there any objection? Seeing none, this discussion item will be moved to our December 20th, 2023 meeting agenda. That brings us to Commission Committee reports. First up, Council on Aging. Councilmember Bazin.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. So Council on Aging's last meeting was rescheduled to tomorrow. There'll be a work session at 3 p.m. followed by the meeting directly after that. And Kathy's shaking her head, so I got that correct. Thank you.
Thank you. Airport Commission.
Thank you, Mayor. Airport Commission met last Thursday, and they had one item, and they agreed to continue with the Red Cross's lease in the Kenai Airport, on the airport property. There was discussion about an airport master plan. It's kind of getting to that point again, but we're going to need another one of those. And also, I've confirmed that all but one of the airport commissioners has done the survey that's been requested. So that person has plenty of time yet to do that. So we're getting close. Thank you.
Thank you. Harbor Commission.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. The Harbor Commission met on November 6th, and they had a work session regarding the priority, the commission work session that they're, with the city clerk. And then the only thing they discussed in the meeting was council consideration of their capital improvement project list, priority list.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation Commission.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. Parks and Rec met on Thursday, November 2nd, and before their meeting, they had a work session where they worked and hashed out their plan for their capital improvement project plan. Lots of good ideas there, and a lot of the usual parks and stuff that need work over the next several years. But they have a good plan, and they'll bring it to us.
Thank you. Planning and Zoning Commission. Councilmember Dothan.
Yes, so they met Wednesday. They had a rezone on Birch and First, that kind of that corner right behind the Salvation Army. There's a series of lots there that are currently commercially zoned, and they're moving to move them into a residential zoning. It was a unanimous vote to do that. Sounds like there's going to be some developers purchased one of the large lots there and cleared it, and is going to be working on putting up, I believe, subdividing it and putting up 5 new single-family homes. So I think it's a great idea. It's going to be moving forward with some more inexpensive housing in the Kenai, which is needed. So that was good. And then they did move their upcoming meeting from the 22nd to the 29th due to the Thanksgiving holiday. There was going to be a lot of people out of town on that. And then the last thing, and I'm sure you can just imagine who this came from, but they had heard word of the Zoom meetings and the possibility of going away from them or keeping them, and they would like a piece of the pie, so to speak, to have opinions on if possible. They would like to see the council maybe refer it to a couple other commissions and committees to give their opinion on the use of Zoom. So that's all I had to report on that.
Thank you. Beautification Committee?
So beautification met yesterday, and we had a work session, and didn't have a quorum though for our special meeting. The work session was productive though. Discussed different options for this upcoming year's flower order. As many of you know or have noticed, that this last year's flowers didn't work as well as we hoped. So looked at a few different options there. Also looked at some potential ways that beautification could work on, other besides flowers, looking at, some of the lighted displays, signage, things along those lines. Other topics that came up for discussion, where we looked at the project timelines that Parks and Rec had, came out of the Parks and Rec Commission as well, and reviewed those as well, and it was very productive. And the next meeting will be in January.
Thank you. Under report of the mayor, I've got a few things. So we had the auditors in town last week. They were in here auditing our city finances. They do this every year. And as well, I guess I could explain to our new member here that they're actually, they work for us. We actually contract with them to do a audit of our city finances, and they will deliver us a report. It's probably around February once it's complete. And I usually meet with them. Any council member can meet with them. Like I said, they work for the body here. And a lot of the questions asked is just standard operating procedure. If we're aware of any or concerns about anything that might be going on with the city finances that I've never had, as far as I know, has had an issue with. And we've always had clean audits from them. And I know we've had a transition from our previous finance director, our new finance director here. And we had an interim finance director for a while there, but everything seemed to be going okay. They were able to get things on track. So sounds like we'll be getting our report from them in, I believe she said February. So look forward to that. On last Friday, the Lions Club held their District 49A statewide, which is the lower, I guess since it's not totally statewide, but the southern half of the state of Alaska. They had their conference here in Kenai, and they asked me to attend and give welcoming opening comments, which I did, and had a really good time hanging out with those guys for Friday morning. And then on Saturday, I did go over and attend the Veterans Day memorial over at, or not Veterans Day memorial, I call it a celebration because that's what Veterans Day is, a celebration. We celebrate our veterans who have served our country and provided us the freedoms and liberties that we have. Was able to go over there on Saturday and say a few words along with I think pretty much everybody else was represented their other office. We had our state delegation, our congressional delegation, Mayor Machicki, and even our esteemed Mayor Paul Whitney from Soldano was there. So, and then they served a nice meal afterwards, and really enjoyed hanging out with them. And turned out to be a beautiful day, and really pretty well attended too. And then we went over to the Kenai Arts Center to look at the mural. I was going to wait the one meeting Mary and I has missed here. I was going to brag about how great that is, but I would say that if you haven't had a chance to go look at it, it's pretty astounding how they do that. I've always seen sort of afterwards when they do the parts and pieces to it, but it was kind of neat to see it's completed now all the way around the room, and well worth the time to go check that out. I wanted to thank Parks and Rec, Tyler, for including the DipNet report in our packet here. I know there was other administration reports, and I don't really mean to, diminish what their work is, but I really look forward to looking at this report and ask that if we can provide a link to that on our, or maybe we have already, to the City of Kenai webpage or website, so that people can easily access this. If they want to find out, because I do get a lot of questions about the DipNet fishery, and it's nice to be able to just refer them to that report because it's really comprehensive. And with that, that ends my mayor report, and with that, we'll go to administration reports, and sitting in for Mr. Eubank, we have Ms. Cunningham for the city manager report. Ms. Cunningham.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. So our Parks and Rec Director, Tyler Best, received the 2022 New Professional Award from the Alaska Recreation and Parks Association. This award highlights parks professionals who are up-and-coming leaders, and they pointed out in particular that Tyler facilitated several education sessions during the annual conferences the past couple of years and helped with the membership committee.
I want to clap.
And then I wanted to introduce our new airport manager, Derek Abels. He's here tonight in the back. He started on Monday, and he's been working with Mary Bondurant for a little bit this week and beyond, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you very much for welcoming me. It's been great so far. Everybody's been welcoming and learning a lot, and there's a lot going on right now at the airport, so a lot to learn, but having fun. So appreciate it.
The administration met with representatives from Beacon to discuss the special use permit at the fire training facility. It expires on December 31st. We're looking at a long-term lease that will address the use of the exclusive spaces like the bathroom and the lobby. In the meantime, there will likely bring a month-to-month extension to council for consideration before the end of the year when the SUP expires. The Corps issued a pre-solicitation notice for the Kenai Bluff Stabilization Project. That's basically a heads up to contractors that the solicitation for the construction part will be coming. And Scott Curtin, our Public Works Director, talked with the Corps, and he said that would be on November 29th is probably when it will be issued, and then construction would, the contract would be executed in February. That's all I have. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of Ms. Cunningham? So it appears that timeline's moving along for the Bluff Erosion. Very, very good. And with that, before I forget, I had two other notes on here that I kind of missed that. We only have one meeting in December. Our first meeting in December we won't have because of AML, and I would want to say that I do plan on being over there Friday for the Hill Corp, and look forward to seeing that. That's always a great event. Kathy, thanks for all you do over there. And with that, we'll go to the city attorney, Mr. Bloom.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel, members of council. I don't have anything to report, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of the city attorney? Seeing none, we'll move to the city clerk. Ms. Thibodeau.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. I did want to report so far on the progress of the Commission Committee Survey. We've received 16 responses so far. There was a reminder that was sent out yesterday, and we did see a little bump in responses after that. I'm sure we'll be sending more responses or reminders here soon. But yeah, if you've got another commission meeting before the end of the month, please remind your commissioners. It'll be very valuable. Thank you.
Any questions of Ms. Thibodeau? Seeing none, we'll go to additional public comment. Is there anybody from the general public like to address the council at this time?
If there is anyone on Zoom that would like to participate as a member of the public, please press the raise your hand button at this time to be acknowledged.
Seeing none, we'll go to council comments. I think we'll start in the online here, and we'll start out with Councilmember Sonart.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. I would like to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving, and I'm looking forward to the parade and the fireworks and being home next week.
Thank you, Councilmember Sonart. Student Representative Tanner.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. I'd like to start off with just some statewide events. So this weekend, from the 16th to the 18th, we have the Alaska All-State Music Festival, which I am going to be participating in as part of the band. And the State Wrestling Championships is December 15th through 16th. Connections had a bake sale on November 11th through 12th, run by the Student Council. It was a success. We made over $300 to use for our Thanksgiving baskets. AMC 12B competition was on November the 14th. The students have received their results, and the American Invitational Mathematics Examination competitors will be announced in December. The Thanksgiving food drive is wrapping up this week. The Student Council will have a meeting on the 17th to sort food items and figure out any additional items that we might need. And finally, there will be ice skating at the Soldotna Sports Center tomorrow. For Kenai Alternative High School, today they had their annual Thanksgiving dinner, which I was able to attend. It was a really great event. There was a lot of people from throughout the community, and they had like some great food, and the students were helping out. It was a good event. Tomorrow is their ACEs and Resiliency Parent Night, which I mentioned in my previous report. Let me just find it real quick. For adverse childhood experiences and parent resiliency too. On December 12th, they will have an event focusing on understanding FAFSA, or Federal Student Aid. For Kenai Central High School, they will have participants at the Alaska All-State Music Festival, which have all those participants have left today. Tomorrow there will be a varsity hockey game at Kenai Central High School versus Tri-Valley teams. On November 17th, the varsity hockey hosts the Kenai River Cup tournament, and they'll be wrestling at the Palmer Lancer Smith Invitational. On November 18th, there will be varsity hockey games, and Kenai Central High School will continue to host the Kenai River Cup tournament. And there will be wrestling at Palmer Lancer Smith Invitational continuing through. On Tuesday, November the 21st, they'll be wrestling at Sohai, and cross-country ski will have a race at Salteshi. On Wednesday, November 22nd, they will be doing craft fair setup, and the gym will close for Thanksgiving weekend. Some results from prior Alaska State championships. For Alaska State Swim and Dive, Abigail Price from Kenai Central High School took 6th place in the girls' 200-yard freestyle and 6th place in the 500-yard freestyle. The girls' team also took 4th in the 400 freestyle relay. Results from the 3A and 4A state volleyball championships, the Kenai Central High School girls' team won 3A state championships. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tanner. Councilmember Dothett.
Not a whole lot. I will be out of town on the 20th of December, but I'm looking forward to AML and getting to see everybody up there and get some new training in. Other than that, I'll pass it on.
Thank you. Councilmember Raskin.
Thank you, Mayor Gabriel. Congratulations, Tyler, on your award. And welcome, Mr. Abel. I look forward to working with you. I also look forward to serving our seniors on Friday, not only as a Hillcorp employee, but as a council member. And the Christmas comes to Kenai next Friday, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you. Councilmember Daniel.
Oh, that is exciting. Christmas comes to Kenai right around the corner. It sneaks up on you there. Yes, Mr. Abel, congratulations and welcome aboard. I am also the new council member, new guy, so I know that feeling. Looking forward to working with you some more. And yes, also I'm looking forward to AML. I hope I got that right. Is that right? Asking Miss Willie, I did. For some training as being the new guy. I can need all the help I can get. And congratulations, Tyler. That sounds like a very prestigious award. And thank you, everybody. Oh, and I was going to, Mr. Curtin's not here, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm going to brag on him anyways. I was in Anchorage this weekend. And I was thinking to myself, man, last week we got our roads plowed. It was great. Went to Anchorage. Roads were awful in the city proper. It was crazy. So we got it figured out here. I know there'll always be a few complaints here and there, but we definitely killed it. So anyways, thank you to our city staff for keeping up on that hard work there.
Thank you. Councilmember Basin.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I would echo Anchorage is a mess. Kenai roads were excellent compared to Anchorage roads, but that's not saying much there. Welcome to our new airport manager. We'll look forward to seeing you operate with us. Congratulations, Tyler. Good stuff. Thanks to the council again for working and supporting the ordinance for the veterans. I think one of the things that we can say about the city of Kenai is that we show gratitude for our veterans, and it's important. And I don't know if there's another community that shows as much gratitude as we do. If there is, we'll have to find out, because I think we do a great job. I was up in Anchorage, and I saw my fellow council member up here. We were rooting for the Kenai Cardinals and their volleyball championship. They dominated up there this last weekend. It was fun watching them. They dominated all season. I will have some recognition that I'm working with the clerk that we're going to bring forward for the volleyball team, and I've got one for the football team also for their state championship. And we got a little bit late, so we missed it. So we'll probably do both of them at our meeting in December. So happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, everybody.
Councilmember Nexon.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I wanted to echo that I thought the streets did an excellent job. The first big snow, and they got right on the roads, and the snow blowers were really right behind them too. So they got that all cleaned up and a couple of times. And welcome to our new airport manager. And you arrived just in time for the first storm too. And of course the airport is kept pretty well snow clean. You know, the whole runway. So that is a big job in itself. So welcome. Look forward to working with you. And I too will be at AML next month. And I'm looking forward to that. And happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Welcome aboard, Derek. With that, seeing we have no executive session this evening or pending items before us. So seeing no other business, we are adjourned.